Hello, boys and girls. My name is Greg. This is Stephanie. This is our podcast, Living in Key West. And yes, we are both real estate agents in the Florida Keys. So if you're looking to buy, sell, or have your property managed, go ahead and reach out to us. We'll help you out. Stephanie, what is going on in the world today?
Well, the main thing that's going on in the world today in Key West is the Key Lime Festival.
It is.
It's
And
still
we
going
missed
on.
it all.
Yeah, we didn't really go to anything. It's been so darn hot.
It's been hot and we're busy. We're just
we're
busy
busy.
doing
No,
stuff.
we are. We're busy. So, also the Key West Mermaid Festival is going on, which is sort of a lesser, I think it's maybe like newer. I'm not sure.
Mermaids are real people.
In Key West.
Winnie, we're doing something here.
Winnie's on one, so.
She'll probably bark a couple more times.
Yeah.
More times.
She likes to get up on the couch and look out the window at anything that's moving, like
Palm
leaves, anything, and she barks at them and she lets them know who's boss. So she's
And we let her do it because it helps her
Absolutely.
with her anxiety.
yes, she gets it.
No one can hear it. We're not annoying neighbors.
Oh, right, yeah. Remember, we have hurricane doors and windows, which are
Yeah. They actually do. They help out like a ton
Yes.
with noise
Yes.
control.
and sassy Shih Tzus.
Yes. Sassy she's.
Yes. So the Key Lime Festival is the main thing that's going on in town
I
right
know.
now.
I wanted to do
I know.
the
Key Lime
lighthouse
pie
drop.
I know.
But man, we just ran out of time.
We did.
And
Also, in fairness, we wanted to do it. Now, I mean, this would have taken 2 seconds. We could have solved it, but we drove
It was
past the
11
lighthouse
to 2.
this morning. Yeah, and we looked at the sign because they had a big sign outside, no times on it. I was like, when is the thing? I mean, I knew we could look it up or whatever, but yeah, it was kind of right in the middle of the day. We had an open house we did. We grabbed lunch. We had recording our podcast.
Yeah. Can I say this though?
What?
You guys are going to want to stick around till the end
Oh,
because Stephanie's going to have a little story time for you guys.
yeah.
And it is about a hurricane.
Yeah, the Great Havana Hurricane of
Ooh.
1846, which
Yeah.
I've talked about briefly.
Right around when you were born.
Yeah, I talked about briefly on our TikTok, but I was thinking like on TikTok, I tell the whole stories. A lot of times I've told like shorter stories because we could only do 3-minute stories previously. Now we can do 10, but I thought talk about it here because there might be some people who listen to the podcast and don't watch our TikTok
Yep.
or listen to any of our TikToks or all of our
Absolutely.
TikToks. So yeah, so I thought it'd be cool to like expand on the stories a
So
little
you're going to want to stick around till the end for that one.
bit.
And really exciting news. We hit 100,000
We
followers
On Friday.
on TikTok.
Yeah.
So we will do our drawing probably tonight.
Yeah.
We'll see where the day takes us.
Yeah.
And so that's really exciting too. So the drawing for the giveaway. So someone's going to be getting 2 nights to the mansion.
Yep. I'm going to sneeze at some point, so just...
Thanks for the heads up.
I
Oh
can
my
feel
gosh,
it
you're so
coming.
generous to just say at some point during this podcast,
No, I feel
I
it.
will be sneezing.
Yeah. Also, it's going to be July 4th.
Oh, yeah.
So-
yeah.
It's busy because of that. Holiday weekend, Key Lime Pie Festival.
It's my birthday month.
It is your birthday month. So there's also going to be fireworks on the island. And the Key Lime Pie eating contest, which is part of the Key Lime Pie Festival, is on the 4th.
Yeah,
as well.
I entered
So
that.
You did.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure you're not going to win. Because you don't like to eat things for like an extended period of time or like a lot of something. So that's not.
Well, if it came down to a bag of Doritos and Oreos, I could maybe
You'd
win
crush
that.
the competition.
Yeah. You guys would be screwed.
Doritos and gluten-free Oreos.
Yeah. With some glass of milk.
Ugh. That's just gross.
You gotta wet the Oreos,
That's true.
just like the bun on a hot dog. That is actually
Pretty gross.
disgusting.
It is. It's gross.
Disgusting.
Yeah.
Anyways, back to. I just wanted to point that stuff out. Well, before we got to that point, I'm like, well, here we are. So, yeah, did the fishing tournament yesterday. So that was taking up some of the week.
Oh yeah. Yes.
I'm
yes.
still recovering, actually.
That
I've
was a
been
lot.
pretty tired all day.
Well, Friday you were helping out because you're on the
Yeah.
committee, so helping out and the whole captain's meeting and all that stuff. And then Saturday you fished the whole day,
Mhm.
and you did what, like over 100 miles
We went
out on the water.
A long, on rough water, not
On rough water,
not
yeah.
flat water.
Yeah.
and caught 4 sweet little baby dolphin, mahi, not dolphins, guys, mahi. We did not go catch porpoises, mahi.
Did you throw them back?
No, they were big enough.
They were legal?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. But they didn't. Not big enough to win.
They didn't win. The winner had a 22-pounder, which was, and truthfully, it looked way bigger than that. Second place had 18 pounds, and then it dropped all the way down to 9, I think. So 2 decent-sized ones, and so that was first and second. They won $7,500 and $3,000.
Not too shabby.
So not too bad. Not too bad of a little victory. Now, when we initially were going, obviously I knew we were going. I was checking the weather to see how rough it was going to be, and it's like, 1 foot or less, one foot. It was freaking 4 to 5.
Mm-mm. It's awful.
It was nasty, and I guess I get seasick.
Mm-hmm.
I'd say I was on a constant 5 to 6 out of a 10 throughout the day. So I mean, good enough to kind of not like sit up and which was good because we were doing a lot of running gunning, and it was once again a little rough. And on that boat, there was nowhere really to lay down comfortably.
Mm-hmm.
Also, being tall doesn't help because like I don't fit on a lot of the seats, anyways, like to lay down on.
Mm-hmm.
But it wasn't pleasant.
Yeah, that's all right.
But it was fun. We're out on the water.
Yep.
It's not every day you get to say, hey, I went out and did some dolphin fishing just randomly.
Mahi for anyone who's listening.
Golly, sorry,
it's mahi. It's mahi. Like, if you live here, if you know about fishing, like, you know what Greg's saying, but we're going to continue to correct that because...
Yeah, continue to correct me because I have done it 1,000 times. I'm not doing it on purpose.
I know. Yeah.
Mahi. I always call it mahi. And, yeah, it was fun.
Yeah.
We saw a giant lawn chair out there, beach chair.
What do you mean?
There was a floating beach chair out there, like a lounge chair.
Just like in the middle of the ocean?
Yeah. Been out there for a while. Had growth on it.
Ew.
But had a ton of sea life under it. So a lot of times when you go out there, that's what you really want to find, man. If you can find like something large like that that's floating, a big old barrel or something like that, a lot of times those will have dolphin mahi on them. And man, this one had everything but mahi. There was a ton of sea life. It was cool, but there was no mahi. So
the mahi gods were not smiling upon you.
We saw a couple of big turtles out there.
Did you?
Yeah.
Huh.
And a lot of times they'll be, because there's a lot of sea life that will stay around the turtles if they're just kind of floating.
Yeah.
And so a lot of times you'll get a big dolphin off, big mahi off of that. And
not so much.
Nothing. So, hey, pee-pee.
But you spend a day fishing in the Keys, so there's worse things. But yeah, I mean, that does stink when you go out there and you don't catch much of anything, and it's rough and you get sick.
Yeah, I personally would always prefer to bottom fish.
Wait, so
it doesn't have to be bottom fishing, just like yellowtail.
Okay.
So going up off the reefs or whatever.
Okay.
Little spots. So catching snapper and grouper.
They're on the bottom.
Yeah.
So you just drop your reel or your bait all the way to the bottom and just let it sit there?
If you're going for like a grouper, but if you're going for like the yellowtail, a lot of times they're going to be up towards the top, so that maybe is not technically bottom fishing, but
so how does that differ from fishing for mahi?
You're doing either like trolling.
So you throw your line out and then you drag it behind the boat?
Yeah.
Okay.
So you're trolling, or you are like doing kind of what we did. We did a combo, right? So if you see birds,
a
lot of times there's going to be mahi near that too.
Up near the surface.
Yeah. So you'll see the birds, you'll get close to them, and then you'll toss out 2 lines, drag them by, and if you hook one, which is what we did on our kind of earlier in the day, then you'll reel those in, and that's where hopefully you'll get that one plus a bunch more that are kind of around it. So that will be like your trolling part. And then otherwise you just run to like, oh, big seaweed patch there, or you see something floating over there, or you're doing something like that. So
Okay. But bottom fishing, so why do you think you prefer that?
Because I don't know, I don't like to just like, the running and gunning part was a little bit better. A lot of times when I've gone out mahi fishing, we just troll.
So you're just driving around all the time?
Yeah, you're going, not idle, but you're going at a slower speed with your bait behind you, trolling it.
Mm-hmm.
So
as opposed to like active fishing, like to where you're fishing, you feel something, you pull it up, and you throw. So it's just like less. It's kind of less interaction because you just like
boring.
Yeah, you're just driving around.
You're driving around trolling.
So how do you know when a mahi's on your line if you're trolling?
Once it hits. Once you get it in.
So like you feel it the same way as like when you're like, but because I would just think like pulling it behind with like the wake of the boat and stuff, like maybe you wouldn't like feel it as much.
Well, you're not sitting there with your finger on it.
You see it hit?
You put them in the rod holders.
Yeah.
Then you'll see it. It'll be hitting it. Yeah. You see the rod go down. We saw sailfish too, but we think that there's another boat that was near us. We think that boat had caught it and released it because it was kind of just swimming on the top the entire time. And we at that point we were trolling and took our bait right by it. And usually it probably would have hit it, but it didn't even like look at it. So it was probably recovering from a exhausting fight.
Yeah. Poor fishy.
Yeah. So, but I prefer to go catch like yellowtail. Like I said, I really enjoyed the trip I did prior, where we ran out, we caught some tuna, which was a lot of fun. Then we ran to like the Marquesas, and we were in about 50 feet of water.
Yeah.
And 50-ish feet of water. So even if you're doing a drop, even if you're dropping all the way to 50 feet, that's not too bad, which we didn't do a ton of that, but I enjoyed that more.
Yeah. Just more active.
Yeah.
Cool.
There you go.
That's our lesson for the day. See,
and on that note,
I don't know a lot about fishing. So you always teach me stuff when we talk about that.
I don't know if my way would be the correct way. I'm sure there's an avid fisherman watching this, and they're like, "Man, that guy's an idiot." So, but
what do you mean the correct way?
I don't know.
You're just saying
everyone has their own way.
You're just saying the way that you like to fish, like the way you prefer to fish is more of like an active fish rather than like just trolling or whatever. I gotcha.
You feel me?
I do. I feel you. So we also last week we have something that's called Caravan, and if you're in real estate at all, I'm sure you know what this is. But if you're not, basically what it is agents. You put your properties on like a list, and then a bunch of agents get together, like either on a bus or you drive your own car or whatever, and you go look at all these properties like in quick succession. So you can see, 8 or 10 properties in one morning, which is really nice because it's, you get in, it's basically a private showing. It's just agents, and you go in, you can look at it, you can ask questions, get information. And it's really nice. So we did that. So our property was actually on Caravan, but we saw a few
really cool houses.
There was
truly Key West just has a lot, and Old Town has.
It's true.
They're really just really neat houses.
Yeah, and what I'd like too about like, especially Old Town houses, or I say that Old Town, like even like the Meadows, Casa Marina, like any of the kind of more historic neighborhoods, I guess I should say. What I love is they all have something that like you discover. Like there's always like a little like gem, or there's
always like a hidden loft.
Yes,
they'll have this Miami Dade pine that is like
Dade County pine.
Yeah, Dade County pine. That's right there on the.
Yeah, I
think you're right.
Yeah, the Dade County pine is beautiful. Or like I was thinking of the one that we went and looked at on Eaton. That was like almost had like Hemingway house vibes because of like the huge pool.
Oh, and I forgot about that. That pool was huge.
That pool was huge. I mean, it was not as big as Hemingway's, but it was
the biggest
close.
Residential pool I've seen.
Beyond Hemingway.
But that's not residential anymore. It's a museum.
Yeah, that's true. Yes, the largest private residence pool that we have seen on this island. Yeah, I mean, beautiful, but like the house was beautiful too. historic, just pretty rooms, pretty Dade County Pine, pretty, like the primary bedroom had like a huge second story porch that was like just gorgeous. But the little secret thing that I was thinking of was when you're in the kitchen, like you come in the front door and you walk through the foyer, and then you go into the kitchen, and then if you turn to the right, there's like a little door, and you think like maybe it's a pantry or something, but when you open it, there's this like just darling little like screen door on the other side that leads out to the porch that has like wrapped around in the front. Mm-hmm. And it's one of those like little details that you can just like imagine it slamming, right? Like it's not a new screen door. It's like a historic, beautiful screen door with like this wood like detailing, and just it's so pretty. And like when it's cooler outside, or even if it's warm and you just have all the fans on and there's a breeze or whatever, to like have all the doors open and to like have that, it's just you can just imagine like back in, you know, the late 1800s or early 1900s, like before AC, these doors being open, you imagine like kids running in and out on the porch, or just, I mean, it's just darling. So I just love seeing those little details, or like the original, like, you know, doorknob that was on the door, or the, like you said, the loft in the first house that we went in, that was adorable. Like that was a cute house. That was like recently redone, but like, so they did such a good job maintaining the historic details, but then adding a lot of like really, really cool high-end, like touches, eclectic furniture, and like, like just so cute. There's so many, I know we always talk about, that's what Greg was saying, is like, there's so many like really great houses in Key West that like every week it's like, there's some good ones on the market. It's like, no, truly, like there are so many, and they all have these little like hidden like treasures. If you appreciate that type of stuff, you know, it's like you go in and you're like, oh my gosh, look at this little built-in that they've kept, or like, oh my gosh, look at this adorable screen door, or look at this, you know, whatever it is, the cobblestones or whatever. So so we did that too, which was, I always think that that's fun to like run in. It's a lot. It's like a fire drill, because you're looking at like
8 to 10 houses
all over the island,
and they're all over the island. So it ended up being a lot, but we did pretty quickly. I mean, like 2 hours, 2.5 hours or something.
It's a lot. I mean, it can be a little exhausting, because it's like in and out, going, looking, you also like get feedback, like fill out a form, say like what you think of the price, what you think of the property, and all that stuff. Yeah, which is really nice, because you can get feedback on your property. But I just think that's, I feel grateful when we get to do that kind of stuff, because I feel like what a cool way to like spend a morning at work, you know, is to go look at all these like beautiful properties in Key West. So and the one that we looked at too, that's really really nicely redone, is actually a legal duplex. And they just did a price reduction.
It's just under 1.5.
Yeah, it's a really cute little spot. Did it have a pool?
I don't think so.
Was there a hot tub?
I don't remember. I don't think so. But I don't know. Okay.
Anyways, so we did that too. And we worked on our website.
Yes.
We're launching our new website.
We're waiting on
our platform. We work with them to launch it. So the ball is in their court, but it'll be launched here very soon. So
otherwise it's ready to rock and roll.
Yeah, and I'm very proud of it. It's very representative of us.
I think it looks great.
Yeah, I'm really excited to share it. I'm really excited for everyone to see it. It's you know, we had our website that we launched about a year ago, probably, when we first kind of were starting. And it was fine. It was a placeholder. I'm glad that we had it, but it never felt like us at all. And then over the course of the last year, as we have sort of shaped our brand and shaped, you know, what we're doing and the work that we're doing and who we want to work with and all that stuff, we just needed to have a place that really represented us and who we are and our brand and like the work that we do and all of the different like content that we have. We wanted to like kind of have it in one place as much as we could. So it's really nice, because the website will have...
We kind of wanted to do a small merging.
Yes.
Keep them separate, but merge them together on one site.
Yeah.
The Little Island Group, which is our realty company, our group.
Yes, our group.
And Living in Key West, which is our content.
Right. So we're going to have a one-stop shop for, you know, all of that on our website. We got new photos done, which are us. They really feel like us. So... yeah, I'm really excited about that. So we'll let you guys know when that's live, hopefully by next week. Hopefully by Thursday.
It better be freaking wait. I mean, it shouldn't take them that long to do.
Yeah.
Holiday or no holiday.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about the holiday. Maybe tomorrow. But anyways, yeah, so we're doing that too. So it's cool. All right, so do you want to do hurricane? Do you want to do properties? Or do you want to do events on the island?
Let's do house of the week.
Okay, so the first one is 711 711 Southern Street.
Are you ain't?
And this place is brand new on the market. It's only been on the market for 2 days. It is in Old Town. And it's almost 2,000 square feet. 1,994 square feet. It's a 3-3. You can do monthly rentals. It was built in 1934. And it's adorable.
How much?
Good question. It's $2,975,000, which puts it at just shy of $1,500 a square foot. So
that's pretty good. Yeah. I know a property on the island that is in Old Town that's just under $1,000 a square foot.
Ooh, I think it's a newer build too.
It is 2015 to be exact.
Yeah. So this place is, it's an enchanting property. So it says it offers a blend of old world charm and modern conveniences, which is true when you look at the pictures. They are very pretty. You can see where it's definitely a historic home that has been, restored and renovated to a certain extent. There is like an adorable little like front gate, which I love when they have like the fences like around the front of them, and the front porch is really cute too. And then the primary suite is very like private and calm and pretty. It has a very nice like ensuite bathroom and a private porch balcony, which is really nice. And then the other bedrooms are really pretty too. There is a front porch veranda, which I like. I love having like the front porch, especially like in Old Town, because you could like just sit out there and kind of like people watch.
Yep.
Or just like listen to.
Or just chill.
Yeah, have your coffee, whatever. And then there's also an outdoor shower, extra storage, and a covered carport, which is nice. Mm-hmm. So,
cool. Yeah. House of the week. Numero dos.
All right, so this place is...
It's in Marathon.
Yep, 11710.
Ooh, easy to remember.
Yeah, 5th Avenue, Ocean, Marathon.
It is on the water.
It is on the water.
Kind of cool. It's actually, I think, like a corner lot.
It is.
So you kind of have two places, right? So like this could be good for someone who just absolutely loves fishing. You can have your boat.
Yep. It's listed for 1.299. And it is a 2-2, which is nice. A little over 1,000 square feet. You could do 7-day rentals here. Yeah. Because it's Marathon, which is nice. Those weekly rentals. It's like a little cottage. It's really cute. It's in the Little Venice neighborhood. It does have impact windows, metal roof, blinds, nice kitchen appliances. It does have a garage. A lot of people ask about garages down here. This place has a garage. You also have your just off-street parking, which is nice. It's not as rare in Marathon by any stretch, but, nice to note.
Definitely not.
Yep. And it says it's on a clear, deep flow-through canal on two sides.
I think it's 5 foot depth. So
that's what it says. Controlled depth 5 foot. And it said, so like what you said, fishermen and divers dream home, heart of Marathon, easy access to Marathon attractions, hour to Key West, 2 hours to Miami. Yeah, I mean, heavily rentaled with rental history and future bookings available on request.
There you go.
There you go.
If you wanted to rent it out for some of the time, stay there for some of the time, it's clearly can get rented.
Yeah, absolutely. Well,
cool.
I mean, when you look at it, it's like there's definitely a place for like boats, like very comfortably, like probably 2 boats, honestly, because you're in the corner.
You can put one on each wall.
Yeah, and it's really nicely updated inside. Like it's just like fresh and clean. Like I'm thinking of if you're putting these pictures on Airbnb, like that, because it's easy access
for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. So those were our houses of the week. All right, now what?
What's going on? Short and sweet version. Is there a lot going on?
Well, there's July 4th, right? So
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, so
Hughes View is doing
they are
something.
Yep. They're doing like a party up on the roof for the 4th.
Yeah.
And they're not saying you can see fireworks, but you can probably see fireworks from there.
Yeah, but at that point, who cares? You're just up Hughes Views.
Yeah.
Pretty cool little spot.
Yeah. So then you've got the key lime pie eating contest on the 4th. You have the Key West fireworks on the White Street Pier.
Oh, okay.
You have a 4th of July firecracker 5K run walk.
That sounds miserable.
Why anyone would want to do that, I don't know.
Well, walk part, I guess.
Yeah, that's true.
But
it's 1,000 degrees.
We do that almost every morning.
So we should just do the 5K?
Yeah, if we power walk, we might come in first for walkers.
Sorry, that was my drink.
Hey-o.
And then... Hold on, let me look at...
And while she's doing that, a lot of people ask us, what are you guys doing for fireworks? Like, what are we doing? And our answer is, we're not going to do anything because our sweet, sweet baby girls get very scared with fireworks.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if we're home or if we're not, they're going to get scared. But they're going to be less scared if we are home with them and able to comfort them and set the environment. Put on some soothing sounds. Turn on the TV to try to drown out some of the fireworks.
Snuggle them.
Put them under a weighted blanket.
And give them their CBD.
Yeah.
So we don't really normally do anything for the 4th.
We don't really.
We stay with our girls.
We stay with the babies.
Yeah. The only other thing of note would be on Sunday, July 9th. It's the Artisan Summer Market. So in the high season, they do the Artisan Market at Higgs, which we've been to. And if you've ever been like on our lives, it's like the farmer's market. It's called the Artisan Market. But they do like a summer version, which is considered the low season. They do that at the VFW post, which is on Roosevelt, the main road that you come in on in Key West. So if you're driving down Roosevelt on Sunday between 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. and it's every other Sunday, you'll drive past it. And they have like, it's less vendors than they have when they're over at Higgs, but they're still vendors and they're good quality. So it's every other Sunday from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. It's called the Artisan Market. And you can also look it up on Facebook. They have a Facebook page where they post like their schedule and all that stuff. So that's
Talking about technology.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
All right.
So here we go. This is what you guys have all been waiting for.
Okay. So
But we don't have any more time for our podcast. So no, just kidding.
Oh my God. So I've talked about the Great Havana Hurricane of 1846 previously when I did the video about the lighthouse keeper.
Yes, you did.
Or the haunting of the lighthouse, I guess I should say, is technically what the theme was. Because Barbara Mabriddy, who was a female lighthouse keeper for many years, which was strange and different to have a woman lighthouse keeper. There weren't many of those back in the day, back in the 1800s, certainly. She was the lighthouse keeper during this hurricane. So that's why she was mentioned in that video. So go watch that video if you haven't watched it. But the story I'm going to tell you, or the information I'm going to tell you about the hurricane today also kind of is in the context of Barbara. So it says that on October 10th in 1846, she went to the lighthouse to do her normal, like her daily routine of turning down the wicks to extinguish the 15 oil lamps. But it was about noon when she finished. And throughout the day, it was said that there was like no movement in the air. Like the seas were super, super calm. And it was pleasant.
Lord goes.
And until late afternoon when erratic waves began to build off the coast and in the waters near the shore. So,
really quick, how crazy is that to think that strong of a hurricane
was that close
through? It was that close, and you have no warnings ahead of time. She's just out doing her chores. That's like saying a Cat 5's about to come through, and we're out there just sweeping the front porch as if it's a regular Tuesday.
So, yes. And so it says, in those days of slow communication, No one in Key West knew a severe tropical hurricane was sweeping across Cuba and preparing to devastate Havana, only 90 miles south. I'm just going to read this. I was trying to paraphrase it, but I think it's better if I read it and we can just pause and talk about it. So whether she noticed the sudden drop in the barometer near dusk is not known, but dark gathering clouds probably warned Mabritty that a major blow was approaching. Certainly, like many Key Westers, she was weather sensitive and realized that such an uncharacteristically calm day was known as a, quote, weather breeder, an atmosphere that foreshadowed bad weather. But having endured the 1835, 1841, and 1842 hurricanes, Barbara Mabritty was a veteran. During the night, the winds increased and monstrous waves began to beat against the shore. When Mabritty climbed the lighthouse stairway on the morning of October 11th, it was quite different than the previous day. With the storm raging around her, she performed only the necessary tasks. Now, this is something to note, which I read when I was doing my research for the lighthouse video. She was extremely dedicated. She took her job extremely seriously until literally like the day that she died. I think she was like 88, if I remember correctly. Like, wow. No, I don't think she was 88. It's 88 stairs to the top, but I do believe she was like around in her 80s or something like that. I'm pretty sure she was an older lady and she took her job very seriously. So because she knew that her work as a lighthouse keeper, if you're not familiar with Key West, we have reefs all around the islands of the Keys, and a lot of boats during that time would run aground on the reefs. It was very dangerous. And so she took her job very seriously as a lighthouse keeper, because her lighthouse shining its light was literally the only thing keeping those ships off the reef. So she took it very seriously. So with the storm raging around her, she performed only the necessary tasks. And though it was 10 a.m., it was dark as night. Visibility in the driving range was reduced to zero, and the winds were violent and escalating. And imagine if there were any ships out there in the ocean during that time.
They were done.
Yeah, exactly.
I think about here right now with when Ian moved through. I was just talking about this earlier today. There's still boats that were sunk from
I know, yeah,
Hurricane Ian.
Like a lot.
Yeah.
So the lighthouse, the original lighthouse, which is what was standing in 1846, was brick. And so when the storm started to get really bad, a number of residents started leaving their wood-framed houses and coming to the brick lighthouse, thinking that like the lighthouse would be like a sturdier structure, they'd be safer. So there was quite a lot of people that were holed up in the lighthouse. And eventually a huge wave struck the keeper's quarters in the lighthouse and they were swept away. Yeah. So near the lighthouse, there were like 14 bodies recovered, including the majority of Barbara Mabritty's children, which we talked about. So there's 2 little girl ghosts that run around on the property of the lighthouse. We've actually had a follower who is a Conch. I don't think she lives here anymore, but she grew up here. And she remembers as a kid seeing the little girls run around like a number of times. She remembers it very clearly. So a lot of people, because they just play and they don't interact with anyone, and a lot of people think it's 2 of Barbara's girls. Her husband, the reason she was a lighthouse keeper is because her husband had died of yellow fever at that point, and so she sort of like inherited the job, and they had 6 kids. So she was basically a single mom. And then reports vary. It sounds like I think I ended up landing on that one of her children survived and the other 5 passed in the storm.
Man, that's a tough little life, right? You lose your husband,
then 5 of your
6 kids all in one
storm.
Yeah.
Yeah. And your lighthouse, that's like your beloved work and job, and like is gone, demolished. Completely gone. And the island is devastated. Sorry, I'm just reading here. In the wake of the hurricane's destruction, workers installed a temporary beacon upon a 30-foot tall tripod, which, that's better than nothing. But like, if you watched my Fort Zach video, I was talking about, or not Fort Zach, I'm sorry.
Fort Jefferson
video. I was talking about the original lighthouse that's at Fort Jefferson is only 70 feet tall. And sailors complained constantly about not being able to actually see the light because it wasn't tall enough. So they built a second lighthouse that's over twice that height so the sailors can actually see it. So a 30-foot tall, not very tall, but I guess something's better than nothing.
Yeah.
So
maybe.
So Stephen Mallory, collector of customs in charge of the lighthouse, successfully lobbied Washington, D.C. for federal funds to erect a new facility in Key West. Subsequently, Mallory purchased a $200 acre of land located further inland and 14 feet above sea level, which is where the lighthouse currently sits.
Wow.
In March of 1847, the U.S. Congress allocated $12,000 for the construction of the current Key West Lighthouse and accompanying dwelling. When building ended in January 1848, the total cost of the project amounted to $7,247.
So he saved some money.
Yeah, the light emitted from the 46-foot tall tower projected over 11 nautical miles. Despite her harrowing experience during the 1846 hurricane, Barbara Mabriddi continued her duties as keeper. So the other thing that I wanted to note was it was considered a category, by today's standards, it would be a Category 5 hurricane. People have asked, like, well, how would they know? There are mechanisms that are used to measure wind, very similar to what they use to measure wind today is the same that they had back then. So they just look at records and readings and things like that from back then, and they were able to determine that it would be considered a Category 5 hurricane today, and it held the record for the lowest pressure until like 1928 or something like that. So it was a very bad storm. They had little to no warning. It devastated Cuba, parts of Cuba, Key West, and then it went into the actual peninsula of Florida and did quite a bit of damage. And from what I've read in other articles, basically almost every single structure in Key West was impacted. This is also the storm that disrupted the cemetery that was originally on the beach.
Yeah.
And there were just bodies and trees and all over the island. So both the lighthouse and the cemetery were moved inland on the island to where they sit today, even as a result of the Great Havana Hurricane of 1846. So
I think the crazier thing is that dude bought a lot for $200 and built a huge lighthouse and quarters.
Oh, I know. For $7,000.
For $7,500.
No, I know. That's so funny.
That's crazy.
Yes, says the real estate agent. You're like, oh, the whole island's devastated. No, but I think the real takeaway here is people.
$200.
$200. Yeah, it also capsized a ton of ships, uprooted trees, ruined crops. There was
It was just it was a nasty storm that moved through without much warning, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
And think about it. I mean, the structures were built solid, but
oh yes, I mean they're certainly yes.
They're not built to.
I mean, yeah.
What?
Cat 5 standards.
Yeah.
The Cat 5 standards weren't built till
recently.
Yeah. Something else that I thought was really interesting was it said that so obviously as a result of the cyclone's extreme intensity, ecological and geographical features were permanently altered in many areas, which you'll see even now if you have some tropical weather go through. I mean, even not permanently, but like even after Ian, like that ivy that's like just growing back, like places that were flooded on the island. There'll be like vines that are just now growing back.
They grew back, which is kind of crazy.
Yeah.
Like the frangipanges all lost everything.
Everything. They were like totally bald.
But they've kind of come back.
Well, I think that a lot of stuff in this area is made to withstand tropical weather. But so this is the interesting part. Sand Key, which completely submerged during the course of the hurricane, wholly reemerged by December of that year, albeit not in its original position. Meanwhile, ecological damage remained evident for decades in Key West. So Sand Key, wherever that is, it was gone. It was totally gone till December, and then it came back.
So it took that long for the
Sand Key
water to kind of
lighthouse is 6 nautical miles southwest of Key West between Sand Key Channel and Rock Key Channel. So it was completely gone. Sand Key was just gone. for a couple months, which
Interesting.
yeah. So, yep, category 5, pretty devastating. No warning.
It's just insane.
She like went out to just do her chores, and
That's
there was
just
like
insane.
a Cat 5 rolling in.
All right, I'm going to go out there and do a little sweeping. And maybe I'll pull some roots or some what are those things? Weeds.
Yeah, she's out there weeding the garden, like a Cat 5's casually just like rolling in.
Destroying Cuba on its way here.
No, it's really wild to think about.
You think about it now, we like watch the Weather Channel for like what seems like a month before the storm finally
That's so
will
true.
get to wherever it's going. But
Yep.
oh man, that's crazy.
I know. So that's the story of the Great Havana Hurricane of 1846. There's more to it, but that's kind of the shorter
The cliff
version
notes.
of what happened. And like I said, if you are interested in more of the specifics of what happened at the lighthouse and the ghost of the lighthouse, I do have a video about that on TikTok.
Yeah.
There you go.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right. So what do you prefer? Peanut butter and jelly or grilled cheese?
It's really tough to say because I like both of them, and sometimes she was 85. I knew I was.
Wow. Okay.
I knew 88. I knew it was the stairs. 85. That's how old she was when she passed away. It's very difficult to say because sometimes I really want a peanut butter and jelly, and sometimes I really want a grilled cheese. If you're asking me right now, I'd say peanut butter and jelly. That actually sounds good.
It does sound good. I haven't had one in a while.
No, me either.
But grilled cheeses sound good too. But I think if I had to choose just one, it'd probably be peanut butter and jelly.
Like you could only have this for the rest of your life. Yeah, I like a grilled cheese. I do. I like a grilled cheese. I like a grilled cheese with like homemade creamy tomato soup. We had that recently.
Yeah, that was good.
But yeah, I think like if I was like I could never eat
Peanut
this
butter
again.
and jelly with Doritos.
Greg's
Yum,
favorite
yum.
side dish for every meal, Doritos.
What about French toast or pancakes?
Like which would I?
Yeah.
Oh God, what about our fried French toast that we made? Is that going to change things for you?
I forgot about those.
I know, this is a really hard question. We haven't made those we haven't made those probably in a year.
Well, we didn't make them since Ramrod.
I know.
We went on a delicious fried batter
We fried everything.
running when we were staying on Ramrod.
Yeah, no, it's so true.
We just
we
haven't.
found a delicious batter, and so then we had to
That's
fry
true.
everything. Yeah, but we made that fried. It's so good. If you haven't had it, it's like you make like the it's like the batter that you use to like the wet batter. Like I love like a wet batter for like even like chicken fingers or like fried fish. It's like really light and crispy. You add it's a really simple batter, and you add club soda into it, so it makes it like really like light and airy. Or you can use beer, like if you're doing beer battered fish or whatever. But we use that, not beer batter, regular batter, and you coat the French toast in that, the bread in that, and then you like pan fry it. Bonkers, like so good. So back to your question.
Yeah,
It's really hard to choose because I love our lemon goat cheese wild blueberry pancakes.
Delicious.
But I don't know.
But I think with the French toast, which was I had forgotten all about that. Now we have to do it.
I'll go start it right now.
My concern with that is that it will be it's heavy.
It is, yes. It's very heavy.
That would be a
It's
lot
indulgent.
to just like if that's your only choice.
I mean, not that pancakes are like.
Yeah, but those are a little bit lighter.
Yeah.
You got
it's
wild
not fried.
blueberries, so we're having that anti-inflammatory.
Yes.
What if we toss some wild blueberries in the batter, though?
In the French toast
batter.
It counteracts everything. I don't know.
That's tough. Saying French toast is good.
I'll make a maybe controversial call here and say I would rather go without pancakes and have the opportunity to have that French toast when I want it, because I'm not a huge pancakes person. Like I'm fine. I love our goat cheese lemon wild blueberry pancakes that we do, but like, I think you get hankerings for pancakes and you're like, ooh, pancakes. I don't really feel that way about pancakes very often.
Well, you're just not a big breakfast person in general.
Yeah, I mean, definitely not when I first wake up. Later on, and typically it's savory. I want like a bagel and cream cheese and lox if I can have it, or I want, eggs and avocado toast. Like, typically that's what I'll go to. So if I do sweet, I'd probably do French toast.
That French toast sounds delicious.
That sounds so good.
So are we doing dinner like we're going to have peanut butter jelly and French toast?
What if I did peanut butter and jelly stuffed fried French toast?
I'm liking what you're putting out.
Yeah, you're liking it.
I am eating my dinner as we speak.
Yeah.
So.
What other questions do you have?
That's it.
Those are the two?
Yeah, I just figure out bacon or ham.
I'd probably choose ham. I like bacon, but
if
I like
honey baked ham.
Ooh, honey baked ham is good.
I'm picking ham.
I like a really, really, really salty piece of ham with like toast, eggs, grits, like.
And I like bacon.
Yeah, me too. Oh yeah, bacon's good.
I like my bacon a little crispier.
Yes, definitely crispy.
But man, that honey baked ham.
There's just something about it. And don't be bringing some, I got this ham and it came with a glaze.
No.
Get it out of here.
No.
Don't even talk to me about it.
You're uninvited.
No, you're out of here. I don't want it. I don't want to see it. I don't want to hear about it.
Next, please.
It's
honey baked home or bust.
Honey baked home.
Ham.
This is a honey baked home.
This is a honey baked home. And if you ain't got that honey baked ham,
get you out of here.
Get on out of here.
Get out of here. Wait, we should talk about non-negotiables when it comes to, this is completely random. It's funny because it's kind of top of mind because we were talking about it earlier today. Thanksgiving dishes.
Man, that might have to be different on another.
You're gonna table that?
Yeah, we'll table that for.
Get it? Table.
You're good.
Yeah, I know, like a Thanksgiving table.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll table it.
We'll table it for next podcast.
Next pod.
All right, guys. We are living in Key West. Thanks for hopping on. And we will see you later. Reach out to us if you want to purchase some real estate.
Or sell some real estate.
Or sell it.
Or rent your real estate.
Yeah.
For vacation purposes.
Or if you do rentals, but you already do it by yourself and you maybe need a little help advertising.
Yeah, because you'd like to get your occupancy rate up.
Yeah.
Maybe your revenue.
Yeah.
Like to make a little more money. We can help you with that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Cool.
Not just in Key West.
No.
Lower Keys vibes.
Yeah.
Marathon vibes.
Yep.
And South.
Spit.
Spit and truth.
All right, guys. See ya. Thank you. Bye.